he got off to a hot start, but then that Alabama defense really fastened in, buckled up, and shut him down for the rest of the game. What did you make of that performance? And were there any players in particular that you thought flashed and played a really, really good ball game on Saturday?
Yeah, I will say that first drive that Alabama had on defense was definitely poor. Like we said, I thought the same thing was going to happen again, that we were going to face this, just a same thing, different day. And Alabama's defense responded well to it. I think Justin Jefferson definitely led those efforts. With the 4-2-5 system, linebackers have to be the most disciplined and fill those gaps correctly. And the first drive we lacked doing that some. But as we watch after that first drive, Alabama really starts to figure it out, and Justin Jefferson, I think, is the guy that really just starts making plays, and that's just from the box score. But you think of what Vanderbilt does really well is it's a offensive control. They want to run the ball and then set up things based off of the run, and they want to fool you with eye candy to get you to do one thing and they do another. But I think the difference in the game from last year and this year was that Alabama's defense last year was gassed by the end of the game. They were so tired because Vanderbilt controlled controlled possession, controlled time clock, controlled the atmosphere and the momentum of the game. That the defense was the only one that the defense last year was on their heels the entire game for reasons that we want to just keep saying. But this year, that the script was flipped. The first quarter, Vanderbilt has the majority of the time of possession, but at the end of the game, Alabama actually held the ball for about 15 minutes more of game clock than Vanderbilt did, and I think that's the definition of changing. From last year to this year, just Alabama, it does help on offense, but defense able to get off the field on third down was impressive. Vandy still 5 for 11 on third down, but really those 5 that Vanderbilt was able to convert were not third and forever. All 5 of those, a few of them were longer than they should have been, and some of them came on that last drive. But Alabama really forcing Vanderbilt to, okay, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to drive the field, and you're not going to have just one big play after another. We limited the big plays, and I think that's the testament to the defense, just making good adjustments and keeping their eyes disciplined for what this Vanderbilt team was willing to show this week. So I keep it short and sweet and hopefully fairly simple.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Graham. And I want to, before I kind of get into the Alabama perspective on it, I do want to give a ton of credit to that Vandy offense. They are tough to deal with. All that motion, all the eye candy, all the misdirection. It's tough for a defense to prepare for, and it's tough for a defense to play against, especially when a player as effective as Diego Pavia is running it. And he's kind of the point guard. He's the air traffic controller, kind of dictating everything. And they got some real, playmakers. Cedric Alexander is a good back. Eli Stowers is a really good tight end, really effective tight end. That Sherrill guy out wide, the wide receiver number 0, he's a really effective player. So they got a lot of talent on offense, and I think Alabama early in the game, they were kind of playing on their heels. You talked about bad eye discipline, bad gap integrity, which that's kind of been a theme, the past 2 years a little bit with this Kane Wommack defense, not setting the edge as well as they should. Those few things creeped up in that first half, but for the rest of the game, you had had the first big run on the first drive. Diego Pavia had a 34 to 40 yard run on the second drive. Other than that, it was tough sledding, and I think a lot of it had to do with just guys playing better. I know sometimes we want to make it more complex than it actually is, in that, Kane Wommack went in there and completely threw away the game plan and said, all right, this is what we're going to do now. I'm sure there were some adjustments made. No doubt about it. Like I mentioned that one earlier with slanting your D lineman to the weak side. I think that definitely probably helped. I think more than anything, the guys just played better. They settled in. They played more with more physicality, with more intensity, and they dictated the terms to the Vanderbilt offense instead of playing on their heels. And I think that was the biggest difference in the game.